Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Don't mind my squeaky door. For some reason it decided to start squeaking. I don't know, WD-40 with me to spray on the latch to make it quit squeaking. But anyways, we're on a muck ditch project here that we've been cleaning on, and Dad got to a point with the 270 where he said it was getting to be a little bit scary because it was pretty soft along here. So I'm going to take the 220 down and try to dig where he left off and see if I can't clean up to the high ground where he can start digging again. So the 270 is about 62,000 pounds, somewhere in there, and the 220 is about 54,000 pounds, so I am a little bit lighter, same width of track, so I should be alright. We'll see what happens. It is muck, so it's going to be soft regardless. If you remember back to my L2 Gleaner on steel tracks videos, I actually picked corn on this farm for my buddy Josh. That would have took place out in this field over here. As you can still see, he's had trouble farming that, where I had to pick for him, because he didn't get it all planted last year. So we'll get down here and do some digging. It's going to be a lot of slop to take out. There's a lot of muskrat holes already leaning towards the ditch right there, leaning pretty hard, and we're coming out of it. Swing the boom over here, get the weight over here a little bit. But I do have my tripod, so at a certain point I'll set the camera up outside so you can see just how soft it really is. You can't really tell from the seat how much I flop around and wiggle around, but outside it really shows. So get down here and get digging. So I took some glass cleaner and sprayed the door latch, and that made squeak go away. So this is where Dad got a little hung up and was afraid he wasn't going to get out. So we'll start right here. Looks like the muskrats have really worked on this bank. Start here and see what we can do. Oh yeah, it's definitely soft. This is what I want to make my big bucket for dipping this soupy stuff out. I usually do this with the 200, but since the mower's on it, we'll just use the 220. The 200's a little lighter yet. And if it goes underwater, well, it's easier to dry out than the 220 is. 200's got way less electronics on it. So if I was to swamp it, a couple days in a bowl of rice and you'll be digging again. Take an awfully big bowl of rice to put that hoe in. Did find out that Friday Parts reproduces the actual control module computer for the 200 Hitachi, and they're only like $1,500. So if it was ever to go completely underwater, that's usually what happens, is that controller goes bad, shorts out and goes bad. And they used to be like $6,500 from Hitachi, but get one at Friday Parts for $1,500 and be back digging. Another dip out of here yet. It's muck, so you just dip and dip and dip and dip till you feel like you've dipped enough, and then move. It's always going to look nasty. We are into the tops of the track on that side. Let's see if we can throw our weight out here, tip ourselves up, and walk a little bit. There we go. Use the boom and the stick to balance yourself out to pick that track back up out of that hole. Digging into muck is all about knowing when to move and where to move and how to do it. You don't dare stay in one spot too long. tank's been tore up from combines falling in and everything else, so it's got existing injuries. It's a bad thing about the muck and peat moss is the injuries never really heal unless you haul dirt in them. Haul some sand in off of a sand hill, or even put some stone in them. Try to refill them. We are making a difference though, because you can see the water's flowing out of that stub ditch over there. That's what we like to see. You can hear my seat flexing because I'm leaning pretty far over now. I'll get the camera set up outside. There we go. I found a little bit of a high ridge right here. Alright, I'll get the camera set up outside. Just about got this section dug. Other than the stuff floating on top, it looks pretty good. The only bad thing about muck is it floats. It'll eventually sink back down to the bottom. Dad's actually digging ahead of me. He went up to the high ground and dug back down. See how much he could get dug. I need his big bucket on the 220. I can run that bucket on the 200. It will handle it as long as you're on fairly firm ground. Can't put it on the 220 because for some reason this quick coupler was supposed to accept 80 and 90 millimeter pins, and it came the opposite. It'll go a size smaller than 80, and then it's just 80. The coupler on a 200 will take 80 millimeter pins and 90 millimeter pins. I don't know how this one ended up the way it was, but it is what it is. So I don't have the option to be able to grab the bigger pin buckets for the 270. Alright, now you can go back to the end of the ditch where I was clearing trees in the last video, the demolition of the restaurant. I cleared some trees on that video for a while we were waiting on stone. I finished that up yesterday and started digging. I went downstream a ways and started digging, and I got up to where I had the trees taken out last night. It was dark, so I ended there for the night so I can go back up there and continue on digging, get that finished up. Now that I got Dad to the high ground, he'll be all right. You don't have to worry about getting stuck now. Through there in a few spots, it was a little bit rough, but I got through it. A couple times I had to turn and drive straight up to the ditch and dig. That way, if I did fall in, my tracks were already pointed away. Get a little more of this right here. Oh yeah, there we go. Floaters. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the end and finish up. Well, we're down to the end of the ditch. This is the part that I debrushed while Dad and George were working on the other end. There's a few little things I need to walk along with a saw and nip off. Not enough to bring the brush mower down here and brush mow it. This is some sticky sand down here. It just does not want to slide in the bucket. Dad's coming behind me. He's been following me. Him and I dug that section down there together. He's got to make it to this end anyways to be hauled out, so if there's any little snags or anything, it saves me from going and getting them. And there will be some little snags because the little twigs and stuff that are in the water from clearing it. Now this doesn't get farmed up here, so I'm just gonna bring the dozer back and grade it all off real nice. Fill any stump holes in from the clearing process. It'll probably end up back into trees eventually, or that stuff just likes to stick. It'll end up in trees unless somebody keeps it mowed. I don't think this actually ever got dug after they took the old railroad culverts out, because I'm actually able to put some little more depth on it. That's why you're seeing clean sand. Trying to take enough out that when I get to the end down here, the tiles will be out of the water. There's a couple tiles down here. I'll show you when I get there. If I can put a little depth on it, it'll get the farmer some drainage. Which it's not going to hurt to dig it a little deeper. Typically, you really just want to see the black layers in the bucket, darker layers. It's when you get that real pretty white sand is when you're into the original bottom. I'm going to dig up to the corner here where I cleared. Then I'll have to get on the other side of the ditch and dig it the rest of the way to the road. And that's the section that has the tiles on it. Stump hole right there. Why that stuff just does not like to slide out of this bucket. I've dug and I've dug and I've dug with this bucket, and it never really gets super shiny. But that's not a bad thing, because if it got super shiny, that would tell me that there's a lot of material wearing off of it. I think it's just some material just does not slide. See, there's a little bit of clean sand, so we're getting a little deep. That's all right. Say this ditch just hasn't been cleaned in years. Judging by the size of some of the trees I took off of it, probably at least 30. nice having him come behind me taking some imperfections out. We actually did a lot of digging today between the two of us. Leaning because we're in a stump hole. He's shearing some of them little trees off that I was going to cut, but that's all right. Need to reshape this here a little bit. There's a stump in the bottom of the ditch. Shim that bucket on the 270. It's getting a little noisy. We thought we had a quick coupler for that hoe, and Mercury brought it and we measured it up and it wasn't right. It was a used one, and turns out it was for a cat. They thought it was off of a 270. It turned out it was for a cat. What was it for? I can't remember now. It was 90mm pins, but the stick was too narrow. 270 stick on a deer or Hitachi is a lot wider than that size of a cat. Now I gotta jump on the other side. Can't continue on this side because this is a property right here that they don't want any trees off of. And the other side was already cleared, so it just works out. I am going to go a little farther just so I can make sure that I can get back to where I stopped on the other side, which I should be able to. Alright, now I got to get over there. Well, I got moved to the other side now. Start digging again. Well, we are below the tiles. When we started this project, them tiles were underwater. A little more out around that one. ditch gets really narrow. So we're getting close to the end now. About 300 feet to go, and then we are finished. This project was a little over a mile. Actually, it was a mile and a half. I had to think about it for a second. This one was a mile and a half, and then we bid another one that was just a little over a mile. This was a mile and a half one. So we've done a lot of digging on this one. A lot of brush mowing and a lot of digging. Back and dip some snags out. Right there. I'll get this finished up. Well, we're down to the last little bit here. It's always great to see the end. Gotta figure out where the culvert's at under the road. So much grass down there. I think I see it. Usually you find a few car parts here and there at the ends of ditches along the road. Not seeing any yet. I found bumpers and things like that. Sloppy down here at the end. I think I see the end of the culvert right there. maybe. A little farther yet. The grass tricked me a little bit. Somewhere right here. Yep, there it is. Got cement blocks and stuff over it. Let's put those right there. We don't want them out in the field. Yeah. Open that up. Looks like somebody must have threw some stuff down in there. Trim this back a little bit here. Oh, we did find what we're looking for. And we came in right on grade, right at the bottom of it. Well, I'm happy with that. Gonna have to go grab a shovel out of the truck, and I think there's a few blocks in there still. No way I can get them out. Well, maybe. Some more concrete away from the front. Take another dip right out in front of it. Sometimes the water pressure will roll whatever's in there out. Put this right on the edge. That culvert's probably a little bit rusty. Alright, that's the end of this video. Just gotta grab a shovel and try to peel a few of those out. That's not video quality stuff. So anyways, thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it, and we will see you all in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, leave me some comments below. Let me know you made it all the way through the video, and if you enjoyed it or not. So thanks for watching.